who's getting the tax credits. Now we're hearing about for-profit developers getting the tax credits.
Yeah, I mean, affordable housing without tax credits and incentives doesn't work. I mean, you're basically asking a developer to take a loss, and that's the bottom line. So I think the incentives and the tax credits have to line up, but to your point, we have for-profit developers now making a lot of money off of poverty, right? So before, where you had neighborhood-centric developers who understood the DNA of the neighborhood, they knew what neighborhoods needed. They knew that, you know, a 4-unit would go good here, and this is the economics that could be here. You now have for-profit developers that specialize in low-income housing tax credits, and they're built into the code per se. So the way you qualify is you get a certain amount of points. They figure out how to get the points, and it's more about the points than the neighborhood.
Right.
And that's things that our commissioners can step in and do. You can't do a LIHTC project without getting your pilot approved. We have a process where I don't know that they turn any down. I don't know that there should be some scrutiny for-profit developers. And then you just have to talk about justice. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, all of this is nobody cares about people in poverty. Nobody cares about the least of them, right? And if they do so and because it's in their self-interest. Like, yeah, all of a sudden you care about poor people in housing when you get a $30 million tax credit deal where, you know, you're gonna get subsidized rents. But you ask that same developer to do something and maybe lose 3, 4, 5%, you don't get that. And you have to remember, like to their credit or not to their credit, they actually think they're doing like the neighborhoods a favor. They actually think they're fixing neighborhoods. They actually think that, like, when you don't respect a certain group of people, when you have no respect for a certain culture, it's easy to go in and feel like, you know, you're the savior. You're fixing this. Well, you know, of course you want this because it was the Morton house. Who would want to live like that? Well, of course we're going to buy these houses. You know, slumlords on them. We're going to be better than that. So it is the total lack of consciousness and true relationships with the community that they're developing. And then you put that on top of a community that has been historically voiceless and won't fight back, right? So this I'm trying to not cuss. The things that you see on the southeast side, right? The things that you would see on the southeast side would never happen in a second ward. Absolutely not. You would never see the development that happens and the lack of engagement.
You should have seen what they did when there's a gas station
right.
proposed.
You can't
even.
And who doesn't use gas, right?
Oh, yeah, but no way. No, you know, it was.
But yeah,
all hell broke loose.
So this city is we have structural issues and we have history that we just got to deal with, and that starts with just respecting the voice of the community, right? I mean, look how much. Look how much money, this isn't housing, but we spend on bike lanes, right? I think the last number I seen, 5% of people in the city of Grand Rapids bike. I mean, bike lives matter, I guess, right? Because ain't nobody asked for no bike lane in my neighborhood. So I mean, I literally have to drive around a whole different way because traffic is backed up. But there's one tight wearing, helmet wearing, you know, yuppie that wants to have a bike lane because it's cool and that's the city we want to be. As long as the city we want to be doesn't include people like me and you, like, this is what we're gonna get. So I mean, I take it as my responsibility to make sure people like me are at the table, like very loud saying and being heard, because if not, we're gonna be a bicycling. I'm gonna stop right there. You get my point where we're going, like, yeah. So.